Welcome to the Transform from Within podcast with your host, Marilia Nobrega. I went from being an over dieter struggling to lose weight to becoming a mindful eater that can eat what she wants and still lose weight. My purpose is to empower women to step into the highest, most authentic versions of themselves so they can lose weight with ease. Learn how to design your authentic body and lose the weight you want without giving up on the food you love, by removing any blocks and limiting beliefs that are standing your way. And that's how you transform from within. Welcome to the Transform from Within podcast. I'm your host Maria, and I'm so excited that you're here. This is our second episode, and I'll be talking about my journey, how my fitness journey started, why I even started training, because I started at a really young age, at the age of 14, and how your childhood is affecting your eating behavior and your weight. So, I grew up in Brazil until the age of 10, when I then moved with my mom to Germany. And if you're familiar with Brazil, Brazil is surrounded by plastic surgeries. Everyone wants to get a surgery when they turn 18, and my mom used to tell me that I should get a boob job because my boobs are tiny, and when I'm 18 she's gonna even help me out financially and even pay for the whole surgery for me to get it. And on top of that, I can even get a nose job. And I don't know how you call this surgery, where you remove the fat on your belly. So she had a whole plan and idea on all the surgeries that I should be doing. And of course, I thought that this is exactly what I want. I want to get surgery. I want to have big boobies. Um, Not thinking about what I even want, because she started saying that I think by the age of 13, 14, that I should get a boob job. Of course, my mom also got a lot of things done because that's so normal in Brazil, and people even praise and they are like, I got I got plastic surgery, and they love showing off and showing that they got surgery done. This is the goal. This is, I don't know, people just want to tell other people that they got surgery done, and they are fake. And it's like complete opposite from the north of the world, like Europe and America, where people want to be as natural as possible. In Brazil, it's like I want to have as many surgeries as possible and even tell people everything that I got done. So that was huge. A lot of people, members in my family, got things done, and they would constantly even tell me like, "Oh, your boobs are so tiny, you should get them done, and you can remove your underbelly fat and then put it in your bum." And I was like, I'm a fitness coach. I am not going to do that. So my thing was to prove them wrong, that I don't need this and I can do everything with training, which is also not the best thing to do, because I then wasn't doing it for me. It was just to show the opposite and show them that I can do this without surgery. So then, when I was 12, I remember my stepfather saying that I'm eating so much, I'm eating more than him, and I will end up overweight. And at that time, I was growing, so of course I was eating more, but he didn't know that because he has a son, but he's 4 years younger than me, so he was in that growing period yet. And of course, every child goes through that, or they start eating a lot. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe I need to stop eating or eat less. And then I started dieting at the age of 12, which is insane to think about. And I had so many negative effects because of that, so many hormonal issues that weren't showing on with acne, but with PMS and hair loss. I still have hair loss. light depression. I have to think about the words in English. Insomnia, nausea, all those things, and finding it really hard to lose weight. I could gain muscles like really easily, but losing weight was extremely hard for me, and I could never lose my underbelly fat, still to this day. But now I finally started working on balancing my hormones. So that had a huge effect on me, of course, because I was growing, my hormones started to kick in at the age of 12, 11, 12, because I had my period right before I turned 11. So that was so bad for my body. I started dieting. I would do excessive cardio session, which is also really bad for your hormones. I would start jogging. Think about it. I was 12, jogging at 6 a.m. in the morning. I would wake up and then jog for like 20 minutes before school, just to show or prove my stepfather wrong, that when I'm 16, I will not be overweight like he said. My thing was always to prove people wrong, and that's where this fitness and dieting thing started, because I wanted to prove people wrong. Then when I was 16, he said that I don't know, it we ate and I ended up overeating and I was bloated, super bloated. I also have lactose intolerance. I have so many allergies due to my hormones and gut issues. I'm always super bloated. Not anymore, luckily, but I used to be super bloated. I looked like I was pregnant in the 7th month. So I was super bloated that day when I was 16, and he told me that I have a big belly, and I was so angry. That was so traumatizing for me at this age. I still remember crying in my room, like, how can he say that? And I was so mad, like, especially if you're a girl and you have someone that's close to you saying something like that at this age, where you are already not loving yourself that much and you're comparing yourself with so many other people, and then you have someone in your family saying that you have a big belly and stuff. It was really traumatizing. And I think that's when everything started, and all the dieting rules really kicked in, and my low self-worth and my desire to prove him even more wrong, that I I will look different. And I never knew that I thought I'm unlovable or undesirable if I don't have a sexy body. My whole identity was to be sexy and good looking because of that, because I thought that if I gain weight, I'm not lovable and people will start judging me, and I don't want to get surgery. That's I was already so traumatized growing up in Brazil, seeing everyone getting surgery, not having a good self image and self love around their body, a good body image. It's so hard to find women that love themselves the way they are, don't want to change anything. And I didn't have that at all. I was always surrounded by people that had bad body issues and didn't love their body the way it was and always wanted to change something. And even having my mom on the phone, like the whole day on the phone talking to someone and gossiping about other women, about their body. And also my mom being like, whenever I would gain a little bit of weight, she would be like, oh, you gained a lot of weight, didn't you? You're eating a lot, aren't you? And always asking those type of questions, which would also make me even more insecure. Like, did I really gain that much weight and I'm not seeing this? And then wanting to lose as much as possible, as fast as possible, and then dieting and creating even more dieting rules and hating myself even more because I couldn't lose the weight and I still had this lower belly fat. And then at some point, even thinking about maybe I should remove and get surgery to remove that belly fat because I'm not getting rid of it. And then 2021, I was in Brazil with my mom, and she got another surgery. And I was with her at the doctor, and she asked the doctor to look at my belly and how much it would cost to remove it, and then maybe even put it in my butt. Um, I don't know. Yeah, just very traumatizing everything. You never think that you are traumatized or that you have a trauma until you start doing shadow work, inner child work, and then you realize, like, oh my god, all the things that happened that are happening now in my life is because I had those incidents in the past. And now I don't believe I can do this. My self-worth is so low, and my whole identity was surrounded by I need to be sexy and good looking, otherwise I'm worthless, I'm nothing without a good body. Men don't want me, my parents don't appreciate me, people judge me, and they only see me for my external things, not for who I am. So, what came with that was that men started using me for sex, like they see me. Because I was doing everything to have a nice body and to always look pretty. So, men would use me for sex, and when a guy had me or had a date with me, or had sex with me, they would see me as their trophy and tell their friends, like, I had sex with her. Which, oh my god, any girl who is in this situation, it's like your self-worth goes even lower, because like, I cannot believe that they see me as a trophy, and this is the only thing that's important. And of course, that was also blocking my business success, because I couldn't believe I'm anything else besides a nice body or a nice, pretty face. And I wouldn't allow myself to show any mistakes online, talk about any mistakes, or talk about anything where I felt like I'm not an expert, because I should be the expert. I could not ask any questions um, about the topic like fitness and nutrition, because I should be the expert. I should know anything. So I created a really, really bad self image. I think I had like negative self image, many dieting rules, and really bad eating behavior. So I started tracking my food at a really young age, I think when I was 15. And I think, or I felt like having dieting rules kind of gave me control over my body and my life, because if I restrict that and I don't eat this, I know that I will get to a certain body weight or that I will look a certain way. And if I track my food and I know exactly what comes inside my body, I have the control over the way I look. So, like I said, I started dieting at the age of 12, and I started tracking and weighting my food by the age of 15 until last year. Like, I stopped 1 year ago. So it's like 9 years of tracking your food and not getting outside of that cycle, not allowing yourself anything besides what's what you're allowed to eat and those calories, nothing else. So because I had negative self-worth, negative body image, I would constantly look for external validation to make myself feel better and to like feel like worth it, because I didn't know I'm worth anything besides or when I don't have a nice body. So I would always wear tight clothes all the time to show my butt and get compliments. And yeah, I was just constantly looking for external validation all the time. And I didn't feel good enough, or that my body's, just felt like my body's everything that I am. So whenever I felt ugly or not good enough, I would eat. And whenever I felt pretty and sexy, I would stick to my diet. And I was compensating my emotions with food, because at least I felt better when I ate. And if I gained weight, that would be evidence that I'm nothing else besides a body. So because I didn't feel good enough, my subconscious would constantly be looking for outside evidence to prove that what I think is true. So it will be like, whenever I would gain weight, because I feel ugly and I think that I'm not worth anything, because besides my body, whenever I would gain a little bit of weight or someone would judge my body, my subconscious would go like, see, I told you you're worthless without having a nice and sexy body. And this is not a good way to live in, I'm telling you. And I'm so glad that I started doing inner child and shadow work to go deep and find the root cause for my bad eating habits. I even had one client saying that she did the meditation inside our program Transform from Within, which is our 10 weeks weight loss program, which is completely different from any other fitness program out there, because we work on removing the root cause for your weight problems and why you're not losing weight. Because losing weight is simple, but it's not easy to execute, because you would always do something to self-sabotage your progress. And that's why you can't lose weight. Then you stay stuck in the yo-yo effect, losing and gaining weight, and you don't know what's wrong, and you think that you're the problem, and that you're not disciplined enough, and that you don't want it enough, and that's why you're not losing weight. But it's not the case. You just have some blocks made from society, from parents, from childhood, from upbringing, that they put this in your mind, and now you think that's who you are. And that's not true. We just need to remove those blocks, your weight loss blocks, to make sure that you believe that it's possible for you, and to expand your horizon to show you, no, actually, I only think that I cannot lose weight because this happened in the past, and this is how my bad eating habit started. So I have one client, and she told me that she did the meditation inside our program, and she realized that by the age of 12, her bad eating habit started because of an incident that happened that negatively impacted her so much that then she started eating really, really bad. And she didn't know that this thing that happened affected her so much until she did the meditation. And after that, everything started to shift, because she wouldn't see herself as the victim anymore. And now she understood why she would always feel the need to eat whenever she felt a certain way, because that reminded her of the past. And now she can work with that and start reprogramming what happened in the past to calm her inner child down and keep the inner child safe. Because your inner child is the one that is changing your whole life at the moment. It's not you, it's your inner child. And if your inner child isn't feeling safe, is mad of something, you will not change, because it's trying to keep you safe and it doesn't want to feel hurt anymore. So by reprogramming the thing that happened in the past, everything will change. And it can take a bit of time, but it's so worth it. So you can ask yourself, where is your bad eating habits coming from? Look deeper, go into your childhood. Whenever you feel like you need to eat to compensate that with your emotions, go back to your childhood and think about a time where this happened at the first time. When did you feel like eating to feel a certain way? And also, before eating, ask yourself, am I physically hungry or do I just want to feel a certain way? If you want to feel a different way, it's emotional eating. And then you can ask yourself, how can you give yourself that other than with food? And there's always something that you can do if you, let's say, you want to feel certain. Because when you overeat, for example, you know exactly how you feel, like you feel stuffed, and that gives you a sense of security or of certainty. If everything is uncertain at the moment, you grab the food to feel certain because it just makes you feel safe. So look deeper and find out where your emotional eating is coming from and how your childhood is affecting your weight and your eating habits, okay? And then thank you so much for listening to this episode, and I talk to you in the next one. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. In case you're not ready to join our program Transform from Within yet, we have free offerings that gives you a starting point into your weight loss journey. One of our free offerings is our mini course called Secrets for Weight Loss. In it, we demystify the old weight loss process that we learn on the internet, and you get to try our magnetic meditations that work on the subconscious to remove any blocks and reprogram your beliefs. The second free offering is our webinar about manifesting your authentic body. You'll learn about the science behind the work, get a workbook, and the step-by-step process we use in our paid program Transform from Within to help over-dieted women lose weight consistently without restrictions, dieting, or hours of cardio. Choose whatever offering you feel most called to do. They are all linked in the show notes. I can't wait to see you transform and manifest the body and life of your dreams.